Hey all, this is Derek, and in this video we're going to do just a little refresher of percents. So first skill is changing a percent to a decimal, and remember to do math with percents, we always want to switch them back to the decimal form. So to do that, we just move the decimal 2 places to the left. So 48% would be 0.48. 2.9%, let me write that a little bit bigger right here. So we drop the percent sign, and then remember we're going 1, 2, so we got to put a 0 in there as a placeholder. So written slightly nicer, it would look like 0.029. And then to change the decimal to a percent, we just go the other way. So 2 places to the right. So 0.52 is 52%. So if we get an answer that we're supposed to be calculating the percent, and we get a decimal like this, which is kind of what will happen, then we just have to remember to convert to percent. This one, so if I go 2 places, that would be 7.3%. These next ones are just to kind of remind you, there's sort of 3 pieces going on when we're taking percents. You might have learned base rate part. I kind of think of it as long as our percents are less than 100, which in most of our cases are gonna be, it's sort of the percent times the big number makes the little number. The percent times the base makes the part. So I think for the what, I'm going to use n in these examples just to give it a letter. Is going to be equals. Anytime we're working with math, that's almost always standing in for an equal sign, and then 30% of 70. So n, what number is equals 30%. Remember to do math with percents, we got to switch them to decimal. 30% of 70. And you certainly don't have to go through all that, but you know, there it is. There's the what number is the equals 30% of means times, and then 70. But really we're just saying, hey, what's 30% of 70? So we do 0.3 times 70. And then that gets us 21 would be what is 30% of 70. And it makes sense, right? 21 is smaller than 70. That makes sense. That's 30%. This next one is what percent of, that didn't type very well, so 240 is 48. So what percent, that's what we don't know, of 240, there's our multiply, is our equals 48. So some percentage of 240 is 48, what is that? So here what we do is we're really gonna just divide both sides by 240. I'm hoping people have a little bit of familiarity, that they're comfortable with that step. But we're dividing 240 to make this 1 so that the n is by itself. And then if you throw that in a calculator, you're going to get 0.2, but it's asking what percent. So we switch this to percent by moving 2 places to the right. So that would be 20%. And then 24 is 20% of what number? So 24 is our equals 20%, so that would be 0.2. I'll write 0 just to make it look more like the 20%, but you can leave that 0 off, of, so times, and then what number. And so in this case, to get n by itself, I'm going to need to divide over the percentage, not the decimal. Cancel, and then throwing that into a calculator, we're going to get 120 right there equals n. And let's go back and make sure it makes sense with the sentence that we had. 24 is 20% of 120. So that does make sense. 24 is the little number, 20% of the big number makes the little number. So we have everything where it should be. Okay, so here's that exact same math, but now just with some words. So on a 170 question test, a student answers 153 correctly. What percent of the problems did the student work correctly? So here we're kind of trying to translate it into one of those last 3 problems. We know 170% is the total amount, and then that times our percent in decimal would give us our smaller number, right? 153. So some percentage of 170 is 153. Once I can see that, now I know, okay, I just divide over my 170 because I want the n by itself, because that's what I'm trying to solve for. And then we throw that in the calculator, and it looks like the student got 0.9, but that's not a percent, that's a decimal. So that would be, they got 90% on the exam. Number 5, it goes, how much hydrochloric acid is in a 50 milliliter bottle that is marked 40% HCl or hydrochloric acid. So the 50 ml bottle is the whole, and we want to know what is 40% of that. So we're saying 50 milliliters times 0.4. And then we just throw that into a calculator, or just do it in our head. 4 times 5 is 20. So 20 milliliters. Okay, so I love this question. This one's off the homework. So in a shipment of airplane parts, 6% are known to be defective. That should be concerning. If 42 parts are found to be defective, how many parts are in the shipment? So here we know the number of defective parts, so that's going to be the small number, right? Because we're going to have this total shipment of parts, and then 6% of that amount. Let's just go ahead and call that N right now. And then 6%, or so I'm just moving my decimal twice, 6% of this value is going to make the 42 parts. So that's the part, that's the whole. And now we're trying to get for that N, so we're going to just divide over 0.06, and then throw that in the calculator, and we get a total of 700 parts.